Okay, so what we're doing a very simple pot of Chinese pork and shrimp fried rice. Some people, there are different ways of making fried rice. Some people parboil their rice and then fry it. Some people use the absorption method. I prefer the absorption method because then you get more flavor into the rice, and it gives you more time and more space to funkify the whole thing. Now, I've sliced some of my pork, but basically this is all I got was pork schnitzel. They're cheaper cuts of pork, but this looks sexier for the camera. So all I'm just doing is cutting it into roughly 1 inch strips, which I'm going to brown it off just to render to form a base for the rice itself. Good old-fashioned oil. You guys out there, I'm not the best person with recipes, so I would say this is roughly 2.5 spoons of oil. I know some people are afraid of it, but remember, it's called fried rice at the end of the day. For those of you that are cooking for the first time, or actually want to start doing this for yourselves, don't bog yourself down with measurements. Let me check the oil. There's a trick in cooking. If you have a hot pot or pan with cold oil, your food will not stick. Learned that a long time ago from a chef called Jeff Smith, the frugal gourmet. He's dead now. Pan is coming on. I'm going to add my pork. Just, you can hear it, just for browning. That's what you want to hear. Add sizzle. Stir. At this stage, I have the pork in the oil. Now, this is not, some people think this is frying. It's not frying. I'm just browning the pork. I am not cooking it fully. Very important. Because if you cook it fully, it will affect the dish later on. Because the meat is going to go in towards the end of the dish, so that it's still juicy when you finally eat it. And another thing about browning, when you put it in the oil, leave it there. Do not stir, don't touch it, leave it. Just let it do its thing. You can hear it singing. Cooking is about sight, sound, smell. From what I'm hearing, I can gauge what the meat is doing. From what I'm smelling, I can gauge what the meat is doing. And as long as the oil doesn't pour in my eye, I think I'm still okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, starting to brown. Now, because this is a Chinese type dish, remember, you're not going to Chinese embassy to get it authenticated. It's a Chinese type dish, so the seasonings we're using chili powder, we're using ground ginger, ground coriander, ground sage, curry powder, onion powder, white pepper, and Chinese spice powder. In addition to that, I've already minced some garlic. I've julienne sliced some green pepper, and I've sliced some onions as well. These are going to play at the next stage of the dish. Now this is what I mean by brown. All of this, the change in color on the meat is browning. What has basically happened is that the temperature and the oil has changed all of the proteins on the surface of the meat, which brings out the flavor. And you also know that I'm not covering this. If you cover it, the water content of the meat will turn to steam, and you'll turn it into stew instead of browning. Ian has given me a challenge. Ian does not eat pepper. And I originally wanted to use the liquid for cooking the rice is supposed to be based on good old-fashioned stuff. But Ian, being the life form that he is, he doesn't eat pepper and he doesn't take alcohol. So he has challenged me to use malt to do it. And I told him it's doing it. And you'll also note that I haven't put salt in the dish at all. The reason you don't put salt at this stage, salt draws out moisture. If you draw out moisture, in the end dish, the meat is going to be dry, and you don't want dry meat. So at this stage, I'm going to take out my pork. Now I've brought the pork out. Now I want you to get a good look at that oil. You can see that the oil has changed color. The oil has changed color because the proteins of the meat are there. This is concentrated flavor. Now I'm putting my onions into the oil. The onions, I just roughly sliced them. No, it's nothing fancy at all. The onions, you can see that the note has changed. The onions are known as an aromatic in cooking because onions add flavor and it adds aroma to any dish that you're doing. The onions were gone. A lot about cooking is building different levels of flavor until you get your finished dish. I know where I'm going. I have a plan, but part of cooking is that you should be able to change the plan and be flexible. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. At this point, I'm adding my garlic. Now, once you add the garlic, you have to be very careful because garlic can burn easily. And once garlic burns, it's going to go bitter and it's going to mess up your dish. At this stage, I'm putting my ground ginger. Roughly a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons actually. Coriander, roughly a teaspoon. Sage goes well with pork. Curry for color and a bit of flavor. 1 teaspoon. This salt I'm putting inside is more of gauging salt, because I want there to be a bit of background seasoning because the rice is really inside. Now at this point, I'm putting every grain of rice with the mixture. This point, I'm putting a bit of chili. Very little because we have a friend out there. Now, like that. And the first liquid will be the first can of malt. One.
So you can actually use malt to cook?
Yes.
Wow.
Because what's going to happen, I'm actually going to balance out the sweetness.
Second can?
Second can. Like I said before, I'm using the absorption method. With the absorption method, I'm gauging the amount of liquid I'm using to cook the rice so that when the dish is done, the rice absorbs everything. And then the other star of the show, shrimp. Peeled, deveined shrimp. I'm throwing it in water and oil. A lot of people like washing it and rinsing. You don't need that because once you do that, you're throwing away flavor. So in it goes. It's part of our liquid, part of our liquor. Need more salt. Then you must taste. Okay.
I'm coming over. Okay, so what are we testing time?
Yes, I need you to taste. It's not done yet, but this is the base broth.
Okay.
That's everybody saw malt went inside.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's not tasting of malt. Nice.
Thank you very much.
Right. So what have you done? Where are we now in terms of the cooking process?
The rice has gone in. So what we're going to do now, it's going to come to a fast boil.
Okay.
Then I'm going to cut the heat.
Yeah.
So it can absorb everything. At this point, my meat is going back in.
The meat is going back in, okay. You've added all the, what did you call this again?
Okay. These are a combination of spices and seasonings.
Okay.
We have ginger, brown ginger, we have brown coriander, brown sage, curry powder, onion powder, 5 spice powder, which hasn't gone in there. Thank you for reminding me.
Good, see? And we've added 2 cans of malt.
Yes.
So far.
I don't think we're going to use anything more.
Okay, you reckon that will be enough? Okay. And what about this?
That's going to go into what's the tail end.
And this is what, please?
Green peppers.
Green peppers. Cut. How do you describe this? Cut,
I
slice?
use a julienne cut. Julienne cut is just basically thin strips.
Thin strips of green peppers. Nice.
And it stays like this for the next 10-15 minutes. I'll watch it every now and then. The reason why you have to cover it with a tight cover so that it develops steam. Steam is what cooks rice, not water.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me take a step back. Yes. I want us to walk through the process. So you started by, you had the meat, which you put some vegetable oil in the pot. Yes. And then you put the meat in. What was that thing you said you wanted?
I browned the meat.
You browned the meat. And then you brought the meat out.
Yes.
And then you put in the
reason for browning is that you basically use the meat to flavor the oil and the pot.
Okay.
That is your base.
That is the base.
It's that base that you now build the other flavors on. Okay. And the easiest flavor to get to introduce is onions. Okay. Because it's an aromatic. The minute you put onions inside, the minute you apply heat to onions, it releases flavor. Okay. Immediately. So we have that, and then we now added garlic. Garlic is the next aromatic. Okay. After the garlic, everything starts going wild. The flavors just start popping all over the place. Okay. And then we now add the seasonings. The seasonings, and then at what point did we know that we should add? So we had basmati rice ready, and then we added it. We added it to the oil and spice mixture. Remember what I said earlier. We're using the absorption method. There are two ways of making fried rice. Okay, so you can either parboil and then fry, or you can use the absorption method. So you actually fry the rice raw, and then you introduce the fluid. So we pour the rice inside, turn it around like we showed briefly, and we're going to show it a little bit more. So we turn it around, and then we added the malt. You can use any liquid you want. Okay, so we could have used beer. The reason I don't like using water is that water dilutes taste. It doesn't add to taste. It doesn't add. It dilutes it. Okay, so and a lot of people don't know that. There's some people that when they're cooking jollof rice, if they see that it's not done yet, they add water. Okay, so you're changing the original taste that you got. You're killing the taste. Okay. It's like washing flavor away. That's what you're doing. So instead of, you could use this, you could also use beef stock, chicken stock. Okay. Whatever is available to you. Whatever is available. This is for somebody that's just come to the house, you want to eat something good, and you don't want to do indomie. You're tired. Okay. Please don't mention that. That is taboo. Taboo. Okay. So you have a few cans of malt in the fridge. You need flavor, and malt has flavor. I mean, everybody that drinks malt likes malt. Yes. Malt has flavor. So why not introduce it to a dish like this? Good one. Okay, I'll leave you to... How's the pepper level? Is it okay? I didn't taste, so that's good. So for me, that's good. Shouldn't add more? Yeah, it depends on you, but what I tasted is good for me. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now, the last addition is going to be the shredded carrots. I know for most of you, for local fried rice, they dice carrots. But when you dice carrots, you still have to cook. But if you want to do things fast, take your carrots, shred them on a box grater, and throw them in at the exact last minute. That way your carrots are still crunchy and less stress. So I'm going to give this a quick turn and then dish. Fork or spoon? Anyone can try this. So ready to go? Go! So I have to say I understand what you mean about the carrot. Still, no, I can still, as you masticate it, you can feel the crunchiness. Masticate.
This is good flavor. This is good stuff. And it's not sweet. Like the drink did not make it
At all.
unnecessarily sweet. Rice is what did you call it again?
Basmati.
Basmati. Yeah, it tastes. It has this. It's not soggy, or is it the way you prepare it?
It's
Is it the
prepared it so it
preparation
won't be
of?
soggy.
Ah, okay. Yes. This is good. This is good stuff.
Taste the
And
pork.
the aftertaste is not bad. I mean, when I finish taking everything down, what is remaining on my tongue is still nice stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't have to drink something to wash it away.
Exactly.
It's not overcooked. Nice, thin strips.
Thank
Good,
you.
good, good, good.
Thank you
This
very
is
much.
nice. This is nice.
Thank you very much. And easy.
Straightforward.
All you have to do, invest on buying good ingredients, good seasonings. Have seasonings in your house. Anytime you go to the supermarket and you see seasonings, pick up a few. You never know when they'll come in handy because all of these things, this is where you get flavor from. You don't have to. I didn't use Maggi. I didn't use no.
All right, wait a minute. Where do you store the seasoning?
Dry seasonings can keep on your cupboard for a year and a half.
Okay, okay, okay. So, yeah, okay. Because when you advised pick them up, I was like, don't you have to? Don't you?
No.
So they will stay.
Yeah, they're already dehydrated. Right? The flavor is intensified, so you don't even have to use much. Just a pinch. No.
That's some nice stuff.
Okay. Thank you very much. The next time I'm doing soup with Gary. In fact, the Afang challenge is on.